If you haven't noticed that the prices at the grocery store and at checkout are ballooning out of control, then you're living under a rock. It is absolutely happening. So what I have done for today is found 10 of my best money saving tips for the grocery store that even with inflation will help you cut cost at the checkout. The first one is kind of an interesting one that you don't hear about a lot, and that is stop buying food for your fantasy self. Oftentimes what happens is you just end up wasting it. This is what I'm talking about if you have decided, okay, let's talk about if you've decided to go vegan. And I bring this up because 2 years ago, the movie or the documentary, The Game Changer, was big, and it was plant-based, right? And if you are interested, I'm about 95% plant-based. But basically, the people in my husband's office decided to go cold turkey. I mean, they were hardcore meat eaters, cold turkey. So they went to Whole Foods and bought all this stuff that was plant-based, all the expensive stuff, not the cheap way to go plant-based. There was so much stuff they ended up giving me. It was crazy. It was their fantasy self. Rather than researching, determining how they could do it in the most cost-effective way, they just went bananas. And that's going to the grocery store without a plan. Let's say you are very much an unhealthy eater and you go to the grocery store and you want to get nothing but healthy stuff. And that's all you have rather than doing it gradually. What's going to happen is you're going to end up stopping and getting takeout more often that week. All right, the second one is very important as well, and that is to shop alone. The times that I take my husband and my daughter, there are always so many more things in the cart than on my list because some things I just can't resist. My daughter is so sweet and she always wants these healthy, good foods, all these fruits and things. And so they just end up in there and they're so much more expensive. I mean, let me know down below if you prefer to shop alone. There's not just the benefit of not having things sneak into the cart that aren't on the list, but also the benefit of being able to take your time. When you're going through the aisles, you're able to sit there and look at all the 80 spaghetti sauces and see which one is the best deal for you. It's on your list, but if you had somebody back here screaming, a kid crying, or your husband going, looking at you, you probably would pick up just the one that was at eye level, which there's another tip right there. Look up and look down. So what I really recommend is going alone as much as you can. It definitely will save you money and be a lot less wasteful with, getting things that you really don't need. One way, if you're really trying to crack down and meet a budget, a goal, let's say it's $80 or $50, is to bring a calculator. Now, you don't have to sit there and put the 0.23, the 0.99. I would use the method of round up or down. Like if it was 123, I would say it was $1. If the next item was 191, I would say that's $2. It's going to give you about the range on average. And just use your calculator. Bring a calculator with you or use your phone, whatever it may be. But as you put things in your cart, add them up. And what you're going to see is it's really going to make you more mindful. It has a long-term effect on you because you're paying attention. You're going to gain some clarity and skills for later on because you're going to start seeing what the actual price and cost of things are, whereas before you wouldn't put too much thought or effort into it. So the next week when you go to the store and you see that thing is not what it used to be, it's going to start registering. And you could start realizing if you go to a couple of different stores, who has the best price on certain items. This is a huge time, stress, and money saver. This tip is to shop weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, whatever you could make work for you. So shopping monthly is probably the one area you're going to save the most. And why is that? Because you have to very strategically plan. You have to have your meals, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner planned out. You have to determine the things that you really need. And when you do that monthly shop, you've got to have the list of, I need 2 packs of noodles. I need 3 spaghetti sauces. I need 3 loaves of bread. I can freeze 2. But you may do the big shop weekly now or monthly. With a big shop like that, you're still going to have to do small shops in between, maybe the half month. So you do the fresh items. So you go and you get the fruits or the vegetables or the breads. So let's say on the first of the month, you do a monthly shop, the 15th. And in that monthly shop, you get the fresh things for the next 2 weeks. And on the 15th, or again, wherever that middle of the month is, you go and you just get the fresh things. You don't get any more of the non-perishables, the things that last longer, the fresh things that last for the next 2 weeks. What that's going to do is save you a ton of money. The next tip is to not be store loyal. Try different stores in your area. You're going to go through them, and again, if you do the calculator method, you're really going to determine which one has the best values. But you're going to find which store works for you, especially if you're moving to a new area or you're now taking the leap to be more mindful with your grocery cost. You could see, like for me, Aldi has always been the best overall price cost for me, convenience as well. And I enjoy the store because it's smaller and things don't move around. I don't enjoy the bigger, stores because they have so much, there's so many choices. It's not necessary for me. So I really tried out many different stores, and I still go to different stores, but I know which ones are my go-to and which ones I'm like, no. And this is not just for the different different stores altogether, but different stores that are the same. So different Aldis. Like in my area, there are some Aldis that are just, I'm not going there. Not doing it. They're dirty. They're not stocked. They don't have good deals. Believe it or not, there's different prices. I just don't feel good in the store. I have the one that works for me, but try to find that one that works for you. Okay, this next one has 4 parts to it. And it is planning. This is the one thing that's going to save you a ton of money at the grocery store. Now, I have an entire video on the binder method and in detail how I do my meal planning. I will link that down below. Don't let it scare you. It's actually easy and fun to do. It's a little bit more work at the beginning, but that's to save you time in the long run. So with planning, this is super simple way to do this, but it's going to be the most bang for your buck, okay? For the next week, so if you are meal planning for a week or 2 weeks or month, whatever it is, however often you're going shopping, write down the meals. So even if you meal plan month, and you shop weekly, okay? We're going to take that example. Take the meals that you are going to make and list them out, okay? And then you're going to write out everything that goes in that meal. So let's just go with something simple. Tomato soup and grilled cheese, right? You're going to write out canned tomato soup. You're going to write out cheese. You're going to write out bread. You're going to do that for all of your meals, okay? And if you see that one item, let's say you need a can of kidney beans here and a can of kidney beans here, then you're going to put 2 kidney beans, or kidney beans times 2, okay? So then you are going to shop your pantry, your fridge, your freezer. You are going to go through and just as if you were at a grocery store, you've got that list of things, right? And maybe to make it easier, you've written them down from that other list from freezer, fridge, and pantry. This seems like it may take a long time, but it doesn't. It's very easy. And once you've done it a couple times, it'll be like brushing your teeth. You won't even notice the amount of time. And you're going to go through and say, oh, okay, I already have a can of tomato soup. I already have plenty of cheese, so I just need bread. So what I'll do is just mark out tomato soup, I'll mark out cheese, and you're gonna go through all of the ingredients there. From there, you take that, just take that list if you want, or make a whole new list. It's whatever you want to do. And that is what you take to the grocery store that you need. That way you're not buying extras, you're not buying duplicates, you're not buying, another can of tomato soup and you already have 6 in the pantry. You're not wasting money there, and you have to get a lot less stuff. That whole way of planning, I assure you, will cut down hugely on your grocery bill. Okay, one of my favorite things to do is to write my grocery list out in a certain way. It works every time, and I've been doing it for years now. So here's how I write my list out. I wrote produce. I have 4 headers, okay? Produce, fridge, frozen, other. So everything that's in the produce department, even bread, I put down here. I know in my grocery store, everything that's fridge, so milk, eggs, cheese, orange juice, whatever is here. And then here is my frozen, frozen French fries, lima beans, whatever it is frozen. Other are things that are kind of usually in the middle aisle. Let's say it's tortilla chips, tacos, etc. So as I'm taking that list of the things that I need, I put it in those areas. So it's super easy. What this does is it keeps you from bouncing around all over the grocery store. So you save time, stress from, going back from one end to the other. And you don't have to make a second trip, which gives you an opportunity not to be, hit by those chip deals on the end of the aisle cap more often than you need to. You can also shop online and do pickup. Most stores have very little of a fee or no fee whatsoever. This is really becoming something big that people started doing a couple of years ago. Obviously, they've done it for longer than that, but more strongly, more often. And the great thing about it is you're really able to only get the things that you need. You're not in there tempted if you're hungry and coming out with all the stuff you don't. You are able to find the best price of the orange juice that's there. The one thing that I will tell you that's happening more often, I've done it a couple of times, is there are a lot of substitutions or a lot of items are out. So that is one thing, which the grocery store, I don't do this at Aldi, but the grocery store, when I do it at Harris Teeter, they will call me and they will say, well, I don't have 1 pack of cream cheese, but I have the 2-pack. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Or I don't have the Harris Teeter brand no pulp orange juice, but I do have this brand orange juice. Okay, great. Oftentimes it's the reverse, like they have the Harris Teeter brand, but not the other. So it's a great way to save time and money and not be tempted. So just check it out if you haven't done that before. If you really want to make this a challenge, does anybody remember the game show Supermarket Sweep? If you do, put it down in the comments below. That was an awesome game show. If you didn't get to partake in watching that, I'm sorry. You definitely missed out. It was amazing. But Supermarket Sweep is kind of like the idea for this. So it's try to get in and get out on a time. It's like setting a timer in your shower, trying to, get everything done and cleaned in 4 minutes or 5 minutes. So maybe you set a timer for 30 minutes, get in and get out. Now, you've got to again know the grocery store probably. You've got to again have all of the things I talked about previously lined up, where you're going, be very strategic. This is where we're going and how we're going to get there. And this is the most time efficient way. But this is a fun way that will actually save you money. It really will, because you won't end up getting things you don't need. And you could also end up not getting something you actually did need. And this is really cool. Maybe you didn't get something you needed, but you make like a substitution for it. So instead of, kidney beans, you use chickpeas in the meal, and you find a new recipe. You try to figure things out like grandma did and use what you have and make do. It's really fun, and I think it could lead to a lot more interesting habits that are good for you. So my last tip, which I definitely recommend for anybody, is to Google and see if there's a blogger for your particular grocery store. And the reason I say that is these bloggers, they get paid money. I mean, blogging pays money. We know that now. Do all the work for you. So for instance, if I'm going to Harris Teeter, I will look on the website harristeeterdeals.com, because that blogger, if that's one person or a group of people, goes through the weekly ads, and I don't even know if it's he or she or whatever, but this person finds the best deals. And what they also do is if there's something on sale and they know that there's another website with a coupon, they leave a link and say, click the coupon here. So it's like coupons.com. Then you can print the coupon. Or if it's an Ibotta rebate, it will tell you. So you'll go on your Ibotta app and you will click that. This is one of the things I do on my weekly process. Again, if you watch that video of my weekly meal plan or my meal planning binder and process, you'll see that. But this is just such a good way to, help out somebody else, because you're, giving a view to their blog, but they're doing the work for you. It's going to save you time and stress and save you money. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you know somebody who would enjoy this content or get some help, benefit from it, please send it to them. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you back for more videos.